Do you want to introduce yourself and a bit about your business?
Sure. I'm Vi. I run Doodles by Vi, which I set up during lockdown, similar to a lot of other small businesses. And I do a lot of kind of stagey products. Started with stagey stickers and it kind of evolved from there. So stagey prints, stagey tote bags, stagey sweatshirts. I've got one on right now. So that's kind of my business in a nutshell.
That's super cute. It's a very distinctive style. Every time your stuff like pops up on my Instagram, I'm like, that's Doodles bye bye. How did you come up with I guess the style that you've now got?
I learned how to draw these like cartoon things when I was in, I think, like year three. And I kind of abandoned that. I wasn't really hugely into art as the years went by, but I always remembered it. And then it just kind of developed. So in January 2020, I had a surgery. I borrowed my dad's iPad because I was really bored recovering, and I just started doodling. I think I did the Six Queens, and that was in kind of my original style. And then over lockdown, I had a bit of time to develop the way I drew. People introduced me to different software to draw. And so I started with, I think, one of the AutoCAD programs. And then I moved over to Procreate, where I kind of felt like I had a bit more freedom with the way I wanted to draw. So it kind of just evolved in that time, I guess.
It's really cool.
And musical theatre, how did you get interested in musical theatre?
I did a lot of stagey stuff when I was young. So I did all the kind of stagecoach training. I loved drama in school. I loved when we had dance things, whether it was like country dancing or hip hop sessions in primary school, and going through the years as I got older. And then I think when I was living in Wimbledon, I went to see shows at the Polka Theatre, which is a children's theatre over there. So that kind of got me into it. And then I went to see Wicked for, I think, my 15th birthday with my mum. And the kind of obsession just grew. At that point, I was like, I love this stuff. And it just stuck with me.
And once it's in your blood, there's no getting rid of it, is there?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Once the obsession gets a grip.
Yep.
What are some of the favourite shows, the shows that shaped your love of musical theatre? I assume Wicked's in there probably.
Yeah, that was one of my very early ones, Wicked. And obviously I've got quite a few stickers for Wicked. And Hairspray was another one. I would go see that with my best friend. She would come down all the way from Manchester to come see it with me.
Oh, wow.
And currently it's more like Come From Away, the little big things. So it's been really fun to see how kind of musical theatre has evolved over time, and the way that also like shapes the way I design the stickers as well, because they've got such distinctive styles.
It's interesting to see how musical theatre has evolved, and how how it's sort of talking to a variety of audiences. It's not as niche as it used to be, maybe.
Yeah.
So, what would you say is your favorite thing about your business?
I think it's the variety, and also, I guess, the personal feel of it. I like the designs come from things that I really love and things that drew my attention from it, and the way that shaped the community. So I get people being like, oh, I'd love to see a sticker for this, or oh, do you have anything for this show? And I love how that's kind of brought it all together. There's so many things that are like the first Shut Up Heather sticker. I hadn't seen it at that point, but so many people were like, we need Heather stickers. So I was like, okay, let's do it. And then I went to see Heather's as well, and I was like, I need a sweatshirt now. And me and my friend wore our Shut Up Heather sweatshirts to Heather's. So yeah, I think that's one of my favorite things, is the way that it comes from like me and the people who engage with my business as well.
Yeah, it's a very personal touch.
But it's always interesting how you said when you start a project, you have no real ideas, and how that sort of creativity develops. And you end up with a product, and you're like, what in the world? How did that happen?
Yeah,
I love that process.
It was just doing doodles in lockdown and when I was unwell, and shows were just inspiring it, because I was like, I miss going to see shows, whether it was after surgery that I just couldn't get there. In lockdown, everything was closed. I was like, I'll just draw. And obviously we had pro shots, and we had kind of like those online concerts, and I was like, fantastic, I've got inspiration. And suddenly I was like, maybe this could turn into a business. And my best friend was like, absolutely, go for it. And I never would have done that without other people encouraging me to do it, that it was something people wanted. And I was like, who's going to buy stickers? Come on. I was very wrong. People love stickers, which is great.
Exactly. And do you find your customers from all over the world? Are you sometimes surprised as how people find you from sort of, I don't know, you've had customers from Mexico and
yeah,
like far-flung places, and
yeah, it's
how do
crazy. I'm
you?
like, I don't know. I'm like, there's people from like Poland, from Australia.
Yeah.
I like from the States. I'm like, I get it. You've got Broadway and all of like that lovely stuff over there as well. And obviously they've got theatre communities in different countries as well. So Germany, I'm kind of like, fair enough. You've got like a great theatre scene as well. But yeah, it's wild. I didn't ever think that I would be like across the map.
You're an international brand.
I know, it's great.
So I was looking through your Etsy shop and looking at your collections. How do you decide which designs go in a collection?
Honestly, it just kind of goes by what inspired me in that moment of time. And it's always kind of 12 stickers per collection. That's just what works for me. And it's a pace that works for me as well, is having just those 12 to start with and then do another 12. And it gives me time to see what feedback there is from other people and what shows are coming in, what's kind of popular, what are people wanting. Because I've noticed there's a lot of people who do scrapbooks and stuff. So they kind of want those shows to put into their scrapbooks, which is amazing. And then there's shows like The Little Big Things, which inspired me so much that it got its own collection, because I was like, personally, I really relate to this. I absolutely love it. So it's mainly like pacing time, what's popular, and then just some things really grab my attention.
And so when you have 12 designs done, you're like, okay, that's a collection. And put that out and then start with the next, as the inspiration comes, start with the next lot.
Yeah, so then I've got time to work on the next 12. Sometimes I've already got some for it. And I just have to decide what's going to fit into that particular collection based on demand and what people are talking about. But yeah, generally I'll do 12, and then however long it takes to do the next 12. Sometimes it does take a bit longer. Obviously, the kind of creative mind, sometimes it slows down a bit. Other times I'm rushing through it.
It's a cycle. One starts and then the other one comes in. And it's just yeah. Do you find that your best sellers are things like The Little Big Things, where there isn't that much merch for it, but you felt really inspired, so you've gone and you've like, yes, this is what I want to do, and people have connected to that? Or is it shows like Heather's that there is a huge fan base for?
Yeah, it kind of goes in cycles. So like 6, where I've got like the 6 queens. I haven't brought them all with me, but I've got a couple here. That tends to do super well, and people kept trying to order them from different collections. So I then released that as a set of 6, so you could get all 6 queens. And that tends to be like consistently popular. They're very like big. But then Little Big Things, I did not expect it to be as popular in terms of people buying all 12 stickers. And I was just like, oh my God, like I had printed more than I normally would, but I was like, this is crazy. And I was like, maybe it is because there's not really much merch for it. Like I got a mug, but I don't think I bought anything else from there. Oh, and a magnet. But yeah, so I don't know. Sometimes it is that they don't have as much merch, or just that the show itself has such an impact on people that they want to remember it in so many ways that they're like, oh, I'd love to have this product to remember this moment in time.
What do you do with your stickers? Are you like a water bottle, laptop, scrapbook type of person? Or are they just everywhere?
They're on my laptop mostly. And a lot of them are kind of like the mistake ones, so that I'm just like, oh, that one was not the right size, or I printed it on the wrong paper. Like on the front, like the keyboard bit of my laptop, I've got a massive work Hamilton one because it just printed so big. And then I've even got like the Friends picture frame, which I kind of sent out with the original orders for the Friends one. I do like if you're the first 10 orders, you get like a bonus one. So I have that like around the peephole on my door to kind of mimic the frame. So some stickers end up doing like little sneaky things. I've got some like on my fridge. I've like the waitress ones, because obviously it's about baking and I absolutely love baking. yeah, they just end up everywhere. I've got them on all my work notebooks as well, just to kind of have that link. Always like to stay stagey, so they're always there.
And you can't possibly have a naked workbook. I mean, that's just wrong.
Exactly. It's just no, it's not okay.
Stickers.
Yeah.
Everybody needs stickers. Where do you see your business going from here? Do you have any plans for it, or you just keep going as you
Always
are?
been a side hustle, that's the plan.
I think for now it will stay as like a side hustle. Obviously, it's growing in its own way, and over time, the products expand, the things I do with it expand. And obviously, I'm super excited to get to actually go sell this stuff in person. I was like, oh, wow. So that'll be really fun. I was like, I've not done that before. And I was just like, oh, I'm a bit like scared about this because I'm like, what if no one buys it? And my friend was like, come on, like, look at yourself. So I was like, all right, that's fine.
Yeah.
So
not gonna happen.
It just depends how it goes, really. Obviously, I keep getting these ideas, like they never stop. So maybe one day it will be bigger, or maybe it will stay this way. I don't know yet.
Oh, that's fair enough.
It's just the love of designing. Yeah.
Yeah.
How long does it typically take you to do a design? Always kind of depend on just whether you have inspiration or.
Yeah, it depends. Usually, if I've got the design in my mind, I will literally just sit there and go through it. I'll do the whole thing. Then I'll come back to it like the next day with a fresh mind to kind of look back at it and go, oh, okay, I kind of want to change this. Yeah. This isn't quite right. And there are some where I'm just like, oh, I spelt that wrong. Like the first time I did one of my little big thing stickers, no one pointed out to me. And I put it on my Instagram that there were apostrophes in the wrong place. No one pointed that out to me. And I was just like, oh no. I was like, I've got to go back to it. And I'd already printed like quite a few of them. I was like,
oh no.
So they can be your special run.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, I'll keep some of those. They'll go in like the Whoopsie Daisy collection that I have for the kind of ones that need saving, that aren't like sellable standards but are good enough for someone to have them. But yeah, usually I'll sit there and I'll get the sticker done in a day, come back to it a later date and with a fresh pair of eyes.
Is there a specific show that you'd love to design for that you haven't gotten around to yet?
I think Operation Mincemeat is one that I haven't done yet, and I'd really like to do that because it's so fun, but there's so much that I'm like, oh my god, I can't choose. There's just too much. So I'm like, I need to sit back down and really think about that. Definitely Mean Girls, and I'm really looking forward to when Devil Wears Prada opens later in the year, because as a movie I love it. The cast looks amazing, so I'm like really excited to see it and be like, yes, inspiration.
So let's talk about musical theatre market specifically. So would you like to tell people, first of all, what payments you'll be taking on the day? So is it going to be card? Is it going to be cash? A mixture?
Yeah, so I'll be taking both card and cash payments on the day.
Okay, great. And you'll have enough change?
Yes.
But if people have exact money, obviously that's always helpful.
Always helpful.
Oh yeah. If you've got the exact amount, that's ideal. The prices will be the same as they are on my Etsy page. So if people know that in advance, it's not going to change from what it is.
What are your prices on your Etsy at the moment?
So for a single sticker, it's £1.40. For a set of 3, it's then £3.40. And then obviously I've got the tote bags, which are £12. Prints are £4. So those will kind of stay. I probably will have a few deals because obviously it's a market, it's a bit of fun. And then obviously there'll still be opportunities to place custom orders. I'll have like a little QR code, because that is another thing that I offer. So if people want to place a custom order, they've got the chance to then discuss that with me in person if they'd like to do that.
Oh, perfect. I was going to ask about custom orders. So well done you. Do you want to give us all your where people can find you already? Socials. If they want to, if they're like, I love this and I need to see it now.
Fab. So I am DOODLESBYVAI, no spaces, on Instagram, on TikTok, and on Etsy at the moment.
Perfect.
That sounds great. Well, I think that is it for today. Thank you very much for coming along, telling us a bit about your business, we really love your designs. They are very
Thank you.
distinctive.
Yeah, I'm really excited to have you.
Thanks.
Because I've
So-
been admiring on Instagram for the longest time, and I haven't gotten around to buying anything yet. But every single time, it's because a new design will pop up, and then I'm like, but I need this one too. And then a new design will pop up, and I'm like, now I need this one too. So, oh dear,
I have that with
just watch me
everything.
leave with bundles of Doodles
Is that-
Bye-Bye stickers. Yeah,
That's the goal. I have a few of your pins actually, because my best friend got them last year for my 30th birthday, and I'm just like, I was like, oh no. I was like, what am I going to do? She was like, I've got some from like all the shows that we've seen together. And I'm just like, where do I put them? I was like, I've like designated a place for each of them now.
Oh, I've seen those reusable sticker books, because my thing with stickers is I'm one of those precious people that's like, I don't want to put it somewhere in case I then want to change it and then I can't. Yeah. But you can get these like little sticker books where you can put in the stickers and then you can move them around.
That's such a good idea.
I know. I've got to get me one of those so I can collect all the stickers that I like really want to get my hands on.
That is such a good idea. I haven't thought about that before. I wonder if anyone's done that.
Well, there you go. A little something to research and look into.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to have a look now.
Yeah, random detour at the end. But yeah, we're very excited to have you.
Love it. I'm really looking forward to going there as well.